Welcome to the show that looks at truth, fiction, and reality with a smirk. I'm Aaron Peterson.
I'm Amanda Sink.
I'm Zach Parkerson.
And if you've never listened to Smirk before, this is a podcast that meshes creative storytelling with spirited discussion, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. Are you ready for this week's story? It's my turn, finally.
It is your turn.
Can't wait to have to put up with your voice for 20 minutes.
Wow, that's not cool. It's shorter.
It's honest.
It's not that long. It's fine.
Well, that's good.
Okay. And now it's time for my story. Maria is tired. Working a double shift at the cafe again, all she wants to do is get home, lie back on the couch, and collapse. Unfortunately, she's also a working mother, and her 10-year-old son Caleb has coerced the babysitter into allowing him to stay up just a little bit later tonight, just so he can see his mom. As Maria drives home, the streets are dirty and dark. It's the Midwest. There is nothing dingier at 11 o'clock than a sloppy winter street. It's just warm enough to keep the ice at bay, but just cold enough to remind Maria that she should have made a better life choices before she settled down. Rounding the final turn to her house, she sees the lights are still on. She knows what this means. Her son bribed the babysitter again, and she'll have to spend another couple of hours entertaining Caleb with a movie or a board game, or her time that she doesn't really want to spend with Caleb right now. Things she ordinarily would love, but not after a double shift, not after today. Maria walks in the door, and immediately she's met with a powerful lap hug from Caleb, followed by 37 questions that all sound exactly the same. Without blinking, Maria shouts at Caleb, "Can you please just give me 1 minute alone?" which she immediately regrets. Caleb stumbles back and begins to cry. So he runs into his bedroom, slams his door. The babysitter looks only at the floor, grabs her bag, and leaves. Maria has her wish. She's alone. So Maria knocks on Caleb's door and opens it to find him still sobbing on his bed. She sits on his bed and begins to stroke his hair, which he immediately pushes away. Not angrily, but in a subtle way that cuts Maria just a little bit deeper. So she prepares to eat her words and embark on this apology tour when all of a sudden, Caleb jumps up. "Mom!" he screams, points out the window. Before she knows what's happening, Caleb has already thrown on his winter clothes and bounced out the front door. Maria panics and chases after him without a coat of any kind. "What is going on?" she screams as she arrives in the front yard. And before she finishes her step, she completely understands. A snowfall has arrived. In less than 30 minutes, an inch of soft, white powder has fallen, and Caleb has already taken to making snow angels on the lawn. "Mom, can you make one with me?" To which Maria promptly drops to the snow and happily obliges. As Maria and Caleb look at each other, every ounce of anger and exhaustion has vanished. Maria, giddily, tosses a snowball Caleb's way, and in the still of the snowfall, their joy and laughter can be heard from miles away.
Did a nice little rhyme at the end there.
Did I
You
rhyme?
little poet.
What did I rhyme?
I don't remember the words.
Oh,
Shouldn't you know? Don't you have them in front of you?
Good job. You can't recall 3 seconds ago.
He's a poet and he didn't know it.
That's not from 1986 or something. So what do you guys think the moral of my story is?
Probably about single parenting and the struggles that life brings along, but the joy that parenting gives you in those subtle moments.
All right, Zach, what do you think?
Something about the simple joys in life, happy things that bring us together, some such nonsense.
Some things that you just don't quite understand or relate to.
No, I can't wrap my head around it, but...
Is it just breaking you down? Like, we don't need this kind of happy, giddy thought. We don't need it. I just want to say giddy again. I like that word.
All I could think about when the kids started crying was, "You're 10, grow up." Life's full of disappointments, kid. Time to learn.
You should write a book on suggestions for parenting.
I'm kind of with him on that. Like, suck it up, kid. Let's walk this off.
Yeah, what are you doing? Also, that babysitter is bad and fire her.
Yeah.
Immediately. It's 11 o'clock. Why is that kid up so late? No, the honest moral, my actual moral is there is something about a light snowfall that can overcome just about any problem. Moral is,
especially the first snowfall.
There's something about a snowfall that can cure anything. I don't know what it is, and that's what I want to talk about. I know that seems like an odd thing to talk about, but like I couldn't stop thinking about it. I hate winter. I know most people I know hate winter, but there's something about that first snowfall that just is unique and special. And I think it really can cure all ails. So, or is it ills? One of those. I don't think it's going to cure broken bones or anything. But my first discussion topic is a lot of people hate winter, myself included. And then there's people that love it. Those people are insane, by the way. Winter sucks. Summer's amazing.
I'm here to advocate for the winter lovers.
I'm right in the middle. I like some of the winter, but I don't want it all the time. I'd rather have fall. But the snowfalls are beautiful when they first happen, so I'm with you. I get this.
Yeah, it's that light, soft, cascading snowfall that it kind of bridges the gap between summer lovers and winter lovers, and it's kind of an almost magical thing. So I want to know, why do you guys think that is? What is it about that first snowfall that warms the heart, that touches the cockles of the heart?
The cockles of the heart.
Where are the cockles exactly?
It's like the lower vernacular artery. I'm making words.
You watch a lot of Grey's Anatomy, don't you?
No, I don't even know what that word meant. I don't know. Well, seriously, why do you guys think that is?
I think it comes down to the social and marketing machine behind
what?
The holidays.
Come on. You really think it's the marketing machine? Marketing has made snowfall amazing.
Man, Elsa has made her appearance here. The Ice Queen, everyone.
Hey, look, I'm just saying there's something to look at, that all the movies that incite Christmas shopping have a lot of snow, leading to a knock-on effect of you associate it with getting good things, seeing family, which associates snowfall with that. I'm just saying it's worth examining.
You think the whole thing is a psychological, we've been programmed? It's the Matrix?
Wake up, sheeple.
To be fair, though, in a way, he's kind of right.
What's up?
What?
No, when you think about movies and you think about just like romance movies have changed how women think of relatitions to be.
Yeah,
healthy,
cost
good
me
relationships.
A fortune in date money.
Exactly, but they've altered perceptions. So they've made an impact on society, whether we like it or not. And so I think when you have people who grow up and they idealize a story or a situation, and the snowfall is one of the things that are romanticized, whether that be with family members or with relationships. Think about a couple kissing in the first snowfall. Oh my goodness, it's everywhere.
Oh, my heart.
Exactly. Little kids seeing the first snowfall. And so I think it has some effect on that, but also a lot of movies come from reality. So that just might be a portrayal of how people genuinely feel and have felt for a long time, which I think is kind of more what it is. I think people just find some sort of peace in it, just like they do rainfalls.
You just flip-flopped in your own argument.
There's a little bit of both.
You know what?
Is what I'm saying.
It's probably movies. Nah, it's probably not movies.
I think that the movies have pushed it along a little bit more, but that has to come from somewhere. People don't just make up this, romantic gesture from nowhere.
So like in the 1800s, when Mom and Pa Kettle were sitting on the porch and then it started snowing, I would think, based on my personal experience, they consider that snowfall just as magical as they would now. But you think movies have influenced that?
I think
they've romanticized it, idealized it.
I feel like they've romanticized it, yes. I feel like it's a bigger deal than it used to. It used to be more of just, this is nice and quiet and peaceful. Let's enjoy this moment. And now it's more like, oh my goodness, the first snowfall. We have to have hot chocolate, and we have to do this, and we have to do that. And it's almost Christmas time.
Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat.
I think it's a little bit of both. But I really do think that it has something to do with the calming and serene notion of snow coming down. Because if you sit outside when the first snowfall happens, it's quiet. It's so dead quiet.
It's amazing.
And it's
quiet.
beautiful. It's really pretty to look at. Zach, keep your mouth shut.
No, I'm just saying not in Chicago. It's not.
Well, that's Chicago's fault. They ruin everything fun.
Yeah, anything. I think anywhere more urban, people are just angrier by default. But yeah, no one's ever stepped outside and been like, oh, it's so quiet.
Yeah, that's true.
So in Chicago, is it more you walk outside to look at the snow and someone pelts you with a snowball immediately, or what?
See, that would imply some kind of fun happening here. No, you walk outside and you're like, oh, I have to. It's a great excuse to use my new coat, and let's go get that hot chocolate. That's $6 or whatever.
You're taking the magic out of snow.
Sorry, the city made me jaded. Yes, we're all sheeple, obviously. I'm just saying, when I see the first snowfall, I do warm up a little bit inside.
What?
I
You
don't
can
like
warm up
step out.
inside?
I don't walk outside and like enjoy it. But I go to the window and watch for 5-10 seconds.
That's the extent of the warmth. You're like, done. Time to get back to work. I hate sheeple.
He probably starts to think about having to walk in all of the snow and how much that's going to suck.
I'd rather walk than drive.
Here's the one thing about that snowfall. It's magical, like you said. I think it was Amanda that said it the first time. But after that, it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the pretty, the magic, and everything else only happens once. I can't remember a winter where, 3 months into this, I'm like, you know what? That's still beautiful. No, when is this going to end? That's what I'm thinking. Where's the beach? We need a beach right here. And that's how I think about it.
I think it's also got something to do with not everyone gets to experience it. Just like there's something beautiful about going to a sandy beach and seeing the clear water.
I would argue something more beautiful.
But I think it's that limited experience too. And so a lot of people idealize imagine themselves experiencing that. And so then if they do experience it, it is a magical experience for them. And then I think for people who live in the Midwest or who live, in the mountains and, near the mountains and stuff like that and experience the snow every year, it might remind them of their childhood and something beautiful. I think everybody got a little bit excited when it was close to Christmas or just the holidays and then the first snowfall happens. People might watch it with their kids. The kids might be in the middle of something, but then it's really quiet and they see the first snowflake. I think there is something just very calming and peaceful about it that draws the eye of people to it and just brings some sort of inner peace to someone watching it.
I was like, going back to your jadedness. What did you mean? Were you being sincere with commercialization that they've just marketed the hell out of it, so they've conditioned everybody? I know she's talking about movies. You're talking about marketing. Mm-hmm. That combination?
It is the first thing I thought of. So I don't know. I don't know what that speaks to my soul. Yeah, I feel in Illinois, it's certainly commercialized. When you're walking down, say, a street in Chicago, and all the cafes they're always advertising, first snow, like come in for your warm cup of coffee. I don't know. It just feels a little gross sometimes. And I will say, to Amanda's point, I've worked here with a few people that moved from California and places, and seeing them see snow for the first time is always pretty cool.
See? Magic.
I don't know.
It's magic. Now, you both have experienced winter, yes?
Yes.
Correct? So my second question is, where do you sit with it? Is there anything you particularly love and loathe about it?
Love it. Mostly the temperature drops, so that's very good for me. I hate warm weather a lot because I like to wear jeans and jackets as much and as often as possible.
Well, what is warm weather? Define warm weather. 70, 80? I mean, because a lot of people think 90 is just comfy.
I would say, 70 is warm, I guess, for me. I try to keep my apartments around 65-ish, 60-ish.
Damn.
For lounging. So
For lounging?
For lounging.
What does that mean?
You lounge in the Arctic?
Hello. Come into my abode.
Used the word lounge in a while. It's a good word.
It makes me feel like you have company over, there's wine, there's crackers, maybe some fancy sausage from Costco. I don't know. In Chicago, it's fancy when you have sausage from Costco, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, it's hard to afford anything here. But I definitely prefer winter, and I do like seeing snow. But Amanda, how about you?
I enjoy the winter. I just don't like when it's blisteringly cold outside. I like the snow. I don't like when I have a giant snowstorm. So I just like some moderation with my winter. I've experienced a lot of the extremes, either a very mild winter, which is
awesome,
surprising and scary, but also the really extreme winters where there's just a massive snowstorm and it's dangerous for you to even go step outside because you might die from all the snow or something.
I think that might be an exaggeration, by the way.
That's what they tell you. It's
really,
not safe to go outside.
And you're going to die. You're immediately going to die from snow.
Look, they tell everyone to stay indoors and
to not drive.
Do you live on
top of a mountain ski resort? And if you go, you might fall down a hill?
No, but they've had like city alerts or whatever where you're not supposed to leave your house because it's so dangerous outside.
The roads are
temperatures
dangerous.
In the roads, the combination, and then the ice.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, don't go for a jog when it's 3 or 20 below or something.
I really liked what Zach was saying too with the temperatures because I hate the heat so much. 73 is like, I feel like the perfect temperature. That's like the good temperature.
Let's fight it
That's
out.
a little warm.
What is the perfect temperature? I'm going with 72.8.
I got some thoughts on 64.
64 isn't terrible. I still like the 60s. I'm even okay with the 50s because then I can wear some nice jackets.
I can't get in the water. If there's like a lake or something anywhere nearby, you can't get in the water. It's too cold.
That's all right.
No, it's not. It's really not. I need to, let me jump in somewhere. And I can't jump in there if it's too cold because that's how you get hypothermia.
The worst part about winter,
which, by the way, is more likely to kill you than walking outside for a minute and seeing snow, unless you tumble down a hill.
I think the danger comes with all of the ice is what I was saying.
I'm more concerned with why you live on a ski resort.
Anyway, the thing I hate the most about winter is I work in the insurance industry and car accidents galore because of all of the snowstorms. And some of them are really horrific. So it's kind of sad to hear about them. And then you constantly have to worry about everybody else that you know and care about that's near them. And it's kind of overwhelming sometimes to hear about all of the tragedies that come along with it, even if it's not somebody that you know or experiencing, that sort of accident with. You still, being in the insurance industry, are going to hear about the other stories from people that are nearby in that area and what they've encountered, and even just seeing it on the news. So I have a hard time with that. It sucks. It brings my mood down a little bit, and it makes the winter storms kind of, I just dread them. Because I know if it's going to storm, I'm going to go in the next morning, and it's going to be a rough day.
How often do they really blame people? How do they know it's your fault? You can't control the ice
and the snow? The thing is, if you have two things on your insurance. So you have comprehensive and you have collision. I mean, there's more. There's liability too. But if you have quote unquote full coverage, you have comprehensive and collision. And if you roll into a ditch or you slide because of ice, it's considered your fault because of the lack of maintenance of control. And this isn't by any insurance company. This is just insurance and the definitions for them.
It's your fault that you can't control the ice?
It falls under collision because you could have been moderating your speed or you could have just not driven. Like, there are different reasons, but they don't really go into it. It's just by definition. So if it falls under the collision category, which rolling into a ditch, those sorts of things do, then you're considered at fault for it.
So technically, only Elsa is free from blame in terms of an accident in the winter.
I mean, the good news is in November, sometimes there's snow. So if you hit a deer, then it's under your comprehensive and that's not your fault. So
the deer
hit the deer, don't go in the ditch. That's not my legal advice. You cannot sue me for this.
That's great advice. I'm going to use it.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I took a nap.
Hey, it's useful information.
Yeah, people want useful information on a podcast. When it comes to winter, there's not much I really love about it. The first snowfall, that's it. I think that's magical. There's something about it. And then I want it to go away and I never want to see it again until the next year when it happens one more time.
At all?
I don't like snow. I don't mind winter. I actually don't mind the cold. The cold doesn't bother me. I don't like snow.
Isn't this your topic?
The cold never bothered him anyway.
Oh.
We can just make it all come back. It's my topic because I love the first snowfall. I love that first snowfall. I think it's magical. And I've actually had days where my day felt ruined, got home, that happened, and I felt better. I just instantly felt better. And I can't explain it. That's why I wanted to talk about it. I don't know why that just seems to be cathartic in some way.
Did your dad ever take you out to build a snowman or anything? This is why I hate snow.
No, he didn't. So maybe that's why I hate snow.
Saying maybe.
Yeah, it could be. Could be. He never took me out on the first snowfall either, so there's no correlation. It's not a daddy issue thing, man. I just like snow. I just like that first snowfall, and then after that, it becomes sloppy and slushy and icy and dangerous and not fun, and there's work involved because you got to shovel, and I don't want to do that. You got a snowblower. I don't want to do that either. I don't want to have to go outside. I don't even want to mow my lawn. So honestly, I'm against manual labor in my yard, but I just don't enjoy it after that first snowfall. There's something about that when it first lands, it's untouched, it's natural, it feels like it hasn't been violated by man. So there's something beautiful about it.
So what if the first snowfall becomes a giant snowstorm and it lasts for 3 days?
That's not the same thing. That's a blizzard.
Checking.
That's a blizzard.
But it starts off as a first snowfall, and it just doesn't stop for 3 days. Is it still just as beautiful, or is it just the first 5 minutes?
I believe I have a good 20 minutes of my life is better. And then in the morning, I hate everything about it.
Okay. So as long as you fall asleep to it and nothing's there in the morning.
Yes. That works for me. I'm good with that. Yeah.
Any listeners out there who want to help Aaron build a snowman? Smirk Podcast.
Save me. Now, I hope my dad's listening, because if you would come build a snowman with me, that would be great, because you never did.
So bring the carrots.
Is that what you do with a snowman?
You put it for the nose.
Oh, I just never
He wouldn't know that because he never got to build one.
You just roll the balls up and you just leave it as is?
Yeah, it's just a sad snowman.
Sounds like a Stephen King novel.
He just draws in the eyes with his fingers and puts a sad face, like some tears.
I do it with human blood.
Perfect.
He calls it a self-portrait.
All right, last topic. I've never met a child whose smile didn't widen when they saw snow falling. I mean that. I have never met a kid that didn't do that. Even in harsh winters. Children, I think, almost get a rush by running outside, diving into it, throwing snowballs, sledding down some ridiculous mountain. Why? Why are they so different than adults? Because we get jaded as we get older. We've obviously experienced some of it, the more negative aspects to snow. Do you think that's why, or is there just something about the innocence of a child?
Probably a little bit of both. They seem to glorify a lot of things that are a little bit ridiculous. Have you seen some of the TV shows they watch? But
no, because I'm a grown man.
They seem to they're not fazed by some of the things that we're bothered by. Like the dirty roads, once they get dirty, they're still going to find the clean snow and draw and make a snow angel in it. They're not going to be bothered by that. If there's a lot of snow, that just means that there's more snow for them to play in. They're not driving in the snow, so they're not concerned about car accidents. There's a lot of things that are just omitted from their brain because they haven't experienced it. Now, if they've had some tragedy with snow before, maybe they fell because of the snow and it hurt them really bad and now they're scared. They got a really bad cut from it or something and they're really little. Or if they were in a car accident, that was because of the snow. I think that would probably traumatize them enough to not be excited about the snow. But until you've started to experience the perceived negatives of snow, it's just a beautiful experience. You're a child. You're naive. Everything is wonderful to you as long as you don't have to deal with the responsibilities of it.
Wow. Also read as kids are dumb.
Really? That's all you got to offer, huh?
That's all she said.
I said a whole lot more than that.
She did say a lot of words.
Yeah, it's a lot of words, and I took it down to 3.
You're good at that. I'm good at a lot of words. You're good at, no words.
Succinct.
Yes. So what do you think, Scrooge McDuck?
I'm not the Scrooge here. She's the one calling kids dumb.
Those were your words, not mine.
That's a good implication, though. So basically, you were trying to be sly about it, and he's just like, you called kids
I'm
dumb.
saying that they're innocent, and they don't see the negatives because they haven't experienced them.
Nice.
Maybe we're dumb because we let the negative things overrule the magic of snow.
Let's not make it an insult to us, okay? I'm fine with the kids being insulted. Let's leave it away from us.
No, a lot of what Amanda said is true. Kids, naivete, all that stuff. It's also, as you grow up, you see more and more winters. Eventually it's just old news. Nothing to get excited about, like a lot of things.
You are so sad. Virtual hug.
Did your dad never make a snowman with you?
He forgot the carrots too, huh?
How about snowballs? You guys ever have a snowball fight, like a massive snowball fight?
Yes.
Yes.
So it's almost required. If you live anywhere in the winter, you have to have a massive snowball fight.
I feel like they're intertwined.
Is that still allowed? I feel like that's not. Zach, do they still allow that in Chicago? Because it feels like they'd be shooting, at some point when you're going down the hill. Somebody would mug you or shoot you.
This is my sled now.
We have no hills in one park. So I don't think a lot of sledding is happening.
Not even down the street, like a toboggan. It's just somebody just dragging them around the main streets.
I never know where all the kids are in Chicago. They're hidden. I never see kids outside playing or anything.
They're locked in the basement.
Or they should be.
I guess probably all out in the burbs. But I have a lot of fond childhood memories with my brothers snowball fighting and snow angels and doing dumb stuff like diving into a snow pile and just your boxers or something. Good times.
That sounds cold.
You remember them doing it, but you didn't participate, so you were just
of course I participated.
Oh.
I was the oldest brother. It was probably my idea. I have a lot of dumb memories when it comes to winter. I'm
glad you guys had this debate with me because I'm always wondering why it is. Why is that first snowfall so magical? Because I think, I didn't really say what I thought about kids. I think there's something about the innocence of a child. I don't think it's dumb. I just think they don't have all the junk, the garbage, the weighing down that adults have. They don't have all the years of sadness and mopiness and zackness. They don't have all that. They just have themselves, and they have joy, and they have what can be, and they have imagination and everything else. And I think it's a beautiful thing. There's something about it that makes me tingle inside.
And if they don't look happy when they see snow, it's probably because they're going to be a serial killer one day. So keep your eye out.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good.
You're
that's
welcome.
A Rorschach test or something.
Wow.
Show them a picture of snow, and they're like, "Oh, it looks like dead bodies. That kid's gonna kill somebody."
Keep the chickens away from them.
So the story, do you think it was truth or fiction?
Truth.
Truth.
Fiction.
Oh, it was a cute story.
Do you think it was my life story or something?
It could have been, or it could have just been someone you know.
No, I was mostly sitting on my porch waiting for my dad to show up and build the snowman with me.
No, I could easily imagine you being 10 years old and crying like a little wuss.
Wow. Poor Caleb.
That happened.
He's a good kid.
So now that we've had our discussion, what is the name of your story?
Calling it The Fall.
Not like autumn, but like the snowfall?
Well, yeah. It's supposed to, if you say snowfall, it's a little too on the nose, right?
I gotcha. I was just
It's
checking.
evocative.
There you go. That's what I was going for. I really should have come up with something a little cooler, I guess.
No, I think it's good. Short and sweet.
All right. Well, as our show goes, we will occasionally pick listener stories to read and discuss on Smirk. If you'd like the chance to have yours read, email to mystory@smirkpodcast.com. Okay, guys, we're going to close this one out. Is there anything more you'd like to say about snow or falling snow, the fall?
Keep your eye out for those kids.
I apologize for being so negative about snow. Winter has very good properties. I just hate life, I guess.
Let's take a bet. Who eats snow out of the three of us? Who eats snow?
Like sticks their tongue out for the snowflakes?
No, I mean eats it.
Like scoop it off the ground?
Yeah.
Like who has... I assume we've all done it.
Zach.
Yeah, I've done it. You've never eaten snow?
Off the ground?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
In your whole life, you've never once scooped up
I put
snow.
my tongue out.
Why are you a terrorist?
What?
I put my tongue out and wait for the snowflakes to fall on it. Or at least that's what I did when I was a kid.
Turns out I didn't hate life as much as I thought.
You were just hungry. You needed some water. You were dehydrated.
Right.
Who hasn't done that?
It's nasty. Why would
There's
I want to do
one robot here that hasn't.
Well, enjoy your cold, heartless existence. That's pretty exciting. All right. Well, you can join the conversation by joining our Facebook group or follow us on Twitter @Smirk Podcast, and be sure to use the show's hashtag Smirk. Don't miss an episode. Be sure to subscribe to Smirk on your podcast app of choice and check out our website at smirkpodcast.com. And as you write your own life story, always remember to tell it with a smirk.